pix pros cara que é bigode. Hoje em dia é difícil uma menina que não trabalha no job. Toda viciada pedindo pix pros cara que é bigode.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of my in-depth Jing rotation guide, designed to help you improve your gameplay, whether you're a seasoned Jing main or just picking her up for the first time. In our previous video, we covered everything you need to know about her early game, what to do and avoid from minute 1 to 4. Today, we're moving forward and focusing on the mid-game rotation, from when the first epic monsters spawn up until the first enhanced monster appears around the 4 to 10 minute mark. If you're serious about learning Jing and improving both your macro decisions and playstyle, this guide will definitely help you. I'm a proud Jing sim. I'll keep making more guides and gameplay for her, so if you're serious about mastering Jing, smash that subscribe button. And now, without any further ado, roll the intro. Alright guys, as I mentioned before, the mid-game spans from 4 to 10 minutes, but right now, let's focus on what you should be doing during the early part of that, specifically from 4 to 7 minutes. At the 4-minute mark, some important changes take place that shift the pace of the game. First, jungle damage reduction is removed. That means when you invade the enemy jungle, you now deal full damage to their monsters, just like you would in your own jungle. This makes invading much more efficient. Second, tower shields disappear. This is huge because it makes pushing towers a lot easier than before. You don't have to chip away slowly. If you find an opportunity, you can take down a turret quickly and gain map control. Also, epic monsters like the Tyrant or Overlord spawn for the first time. These are high-value objectives, and fighting over them can completely change the tide of the match. Finally, your minion waves get a small upgrade. The last ranged minion is now replaced by an artillery minion called Ballistae. Ballistae are much stronger than ranged minions. They also take reduced damage from towers and are excellent at pushing lanes. Considering those changes, you must prefer pushing towers and invading the enemy jungle more frequently in this phase of the game. Altogether, these changes mark a clear shift. The game is speeding up. It tells us that this phase is all about invading, pushing, contesting objectives, and laying the foundation for snowballing. So if you play this right, you set the tempo, not just follow it. This is literally the best time to widen the gold gap between you and the enemy jungle. With jungle damage reduction gone, your clearance becomes noticeably faster, which means you can farm gold way more efficiently. Jing should already have her basic items by now, and you must remember, the ideal time to complete her first item, Axe of Torment, is by 5 minutes, or even earlier if you're playing clean. During this phase, gank frequency spikes, teams start roaming more, and fights happen more often. Luckily for Jing, her high mobility makes it easy to both clear the jungle and shove waves quickly. If you play her well, you're basically guaranteed a solid lead. That said, please ignore your teammates who are busy donating their lives for free, especially when your jungle is spawned. Prioritize farming, jungle first, then minions, and only then consider diving in or joining fights. Don't blindly follow teammates into unnecessary fights just to die with them. If you die, your lead disappears, and so does your chance at carrying. You need to develop your own rhythm. That means staying ahead in gold, farming smart, and only joining fights when it actually benefits you or your team. Even if you're not constantly ganking or picking up kills, simply securing minions in jungle camps will keep you in the game. Remember, that's what usually happens in pro scene. You'll know if you watch KPL in such tournaments. And if you do manage to pick up a kill while doing your thing, well, that's just cherry on top. The main point is, don't let your teammates' poor decisions influence your gameplay. Stick to your rhythm, your tempo, and you'll build momentum that the enemy can't match. Let's visualize this. After you've cleared your jungle on both sides post 4 minutes, your next move depends entirely on the map. Check the minimap. Are there any openings? Can you catch someone out of position? If yes, take it. If not, don't panic. Grab neutral resources or help teammates push the wave, just like you did during early game. Now, if most of the enemy team is on the opposite side of the map, that's your green light. You can go for a tower dive or gank the side laner who's out of position, especially if you're confident in your strength or numbers advantage. But if the situation looks dicey or risky, don't force it. Simply go back to farming and scaling. Never waste time wandering with no clear goal. Now let's talk about what it really means to create your own opportunities. Because let's be honest, you can't always rely on opportunities to just fall into your lap. This is where tempo comes in. Tempo isn't some otherworldly concept. It's just about staying one step ahead and making the enemy react to you. You set the pace, not them. When you shove a wave, you're forcing the enemy to respond and clear it. That means they're now playing catch-up, and you've successfully dictated their movement. That's tempo. When you invade the enemy jungle, they're forced to make a decision, either contest and risk a fight, or give it up and fall behind. That pressure? That's tempo. When you camp a bush, you're making them second-guess their pathing, wasting their time just trying to walk safely. That mind game? Yep, still tempo. These are your 3 golden levers: wave pressure, jungle pressure, and psychological pressure. Master them, and you're not just playing the game, you're controlling it. You're no longer reacting, you're deciding. Basically, it's anime protagonist mode. You're not just in the lobby, you are the story. Alright, now let's talk about what you should be doing between 7 to 10 minutes, which is a key turning point in the game. This is when a jungler's playstyle needs to shift from reactive to proactive. In this phase, you can't just wander around farming and hoping for opportunities. You need to start creating pressure. Focus on catching enemies in the top or bottom lanes while pushing turrets. These side lanes are usually less protected at this stage, and picking off an enemy trying to defend alone can open up a tower easily. Once you've successfully taken a side turret, you have 2 options based on the enemy's respawn timers. 1. If the enemy you just killed is going to take a while to respawn, feel free to go back to farming. Clear one side of your jungle and scale, and then return for the ambush. 2. But if they're about to respawn, don't waste time. Head straight to one of the enemy's side lanes and hide in a nearby bush. Prepare an ambush for whoever comes to defend. Before you jump on anyone, check the minimap. See who's on the opposite side. Make sure the target is actually solo and not about to get backup. If they're alone, try to catch them off guard. If you can't kill them or it's too risky, rotate to mid or another open lane where your team has a numbers advantage, or simply push the turret that's left undefended. If the enemy is trying to split push on the opposite side, your pressure will force them to retreat and defend their own base. They'll often arrive late or be out of sync with their team, making their rotation useless, and that's where you exploit their blunder and lower their win probability. Now let's talk about some important choices you need to make within the game. Your own rhythm matters. Don't get pulled into chaos by your teammates. Stick to your plan. Create your own tempo, and if one wave doesn't work, bring 2 waves. It is a macro language. It means, if your push fails with one wave, sync another wave with it. Double waves put more pressure on towers and force the enemy to choose between defending and contesting. It's all about overwhelming them with timing. Repeat these steps. Set your rhythm. Force the enemy to play your game, not the other way around. Now we've reached the 10-minute mark. This is where the game takes a sharp turn, and everything starts to matter a lot more. Enhanced epic monsters spawn at this point, and this moment is absolutely crucial. This phase is often called the lane control or wave management stage for a reason. Before your team commits to taking one of these enhanced monsters, you must make sure all lanes are pushed out. Why? Because clearing waves gives you map pressure. If the enemy tries to contest a dragon while your minions are pushing their towers, they're automatically at a disadvantage. In the best case scenario, some of the enemies will try to defend the lanes while others come to contest. Great news for you. That split decision leads to a numbers gap, making it easier for your team to either win the fight or secure the monster uncontested. So clear your waves, control vision, and then evaluate. Based on your team's current gold, level advantage, and numbers, decide whether you can safely go for the enhanced monster. Don't blindly rush it. Timing and setup matter more than brute force. Now let me highlight 2 extremely important things you must keep in mind during this phase, or at 10 minutes. 1. You should aim for an average gold income of 1,000 gold per minute. 2. By the 10-minute mark, you should have at least 8,000 gold. If you're behind that, something went wrong, either in farming efficiency or death count. Also, one more important than I really want to emphasize at is about you not dying. Let me be brutally honest. Dying more than twice before 10 minutes? That's borderline inting. Seriously, Jing isn't a hero that can afford repeated deaths early on. Stay alive. Secure your farm. Be efficient. Don't get baited into bad fights just because your teammates are jumping in. Also, quick note on buff sharing. At the 10-minute mark, you can give your red buff to your ADC if they need it, especially if they're scaling or carrying hard. It's a good trade, but on the flip side, ADC players, please stop taking your jungler's blue buff. You don't need it. It doesn't do anything for you. Take the red after 10 minutes if it's offered, but blue buff belongs to the jungle period. Now let me summarize everything I've said so far. The 4 to 10 minute macro is all about wave control and jungle invasion. Epic monsters? Honestly, they're not the top priority here. The real mid-game hierarchy looks like this. Invade equals tower wave kills equals your own jungle buffs. Let's break it down. Mid-game should be about transitioning a lane into a winning one. Usually, that's the lane you helped early on. Your job now is to snowball that lane. Either gank and kill the enemy side laner, push the wave and take the tower, or, my personal favorite, invade their jungle on that side while they're too scared to show up. Invading is everything in this phase. Push a wave and invade. Or push, take the tower, and then invade while they're still trying to figure out what just happened. I'll make a full separate video on advanced invade paths and timings in future. But for now, remember, invade equals pressure equals gold equals tempo. How to take towers. Gank and kill, then take turret. Dive if you're confident, kill, then take turret. Or if the tower is low enough, skip the murder and just take it. At higher levels of play, you can also proxy, go behind the enemy tower and block the wave, letting your minions crash. Most players don't really understand proxy, so I'll make a special proxy guide just for that too. Back to invading. Buffs are your main target. If your team has a winning side, invade that side. If you're behind or no lane is ahead, use tempo trading. When enemies are invading you or taking your tower, you slip into their jungle or take their tower instead. You're not reacting, you're trading value. That's smart macro. Team fights during mid-game, you don't need to force them. Your role is to clean up fights, not start them, unless you're super ahead, where the enemy is clearly out of position. Most of the time, you should be farming while watching them. If a fight breaks out and it looks winnable, go in. If it looks like a disaster, keep farming. Don't throw. If the enemy is stronger, just avoid them. If they go for dragon and you know it's risky to contest, you don't. Either farm or trade something else. Mid-game dragon is not worth losing tempo or dying for. Now let's talk about camping, another key part of mid-game macro. Best camp spot? Right next to the enemy buff. Wait for them to walk in. Boom, free pick. Second best? Next to the wave. If you think an enemy will come to farm, hide where the waves meet. Wait till the first minion is about to die, then jump. Easy punish. And one more thing. When invading, don't just take a buff. Take everything if possible, full clear their side. Leave nothing but shame behind. And that's it, lads. We're officially done with Jing's mid-game rotation. What's left now is the late game and end game rotation guide, which I'll drop depending on how this video performs. So if you want to see that, or if you're just nosy, you know what to do. Also, if you want a guide on anything else, hero tips, weird builds, romantic advice, just kidding, unless, let me know in the comments. I always read them and love helping out my W subscribers. And hey, if you learned even one useful thing from this video, consider giving it a like and subscribing for more of that top-tier Jing content, or should I say content about my wife Jing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.